Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Podcast, episode 269.
Giggity diggity.
Giggity giggity. In the home studio in Minden, Nevada. Studio M. How you doing, Chris? I keep wanting to say live. We're recording in person.
That's right. We're together. We are in the same room.
It's not Memorex. So here we are. Beautiful day. It's like 88 degrees outside. Slight wind out of the south here. We got friends on the Rubicon that are putting rigs back together, tearing rigs apart, breaking shit.
That's right.
Camping. A lot of people we know are on the Rubicon right now, so that trail is very busy this weekend.
That's right. A lot of action going on. Starlink is certainly a game changer for a lot of people to be able to give updates from the trail. I guess it's also not just a game changer, but potentially a lifesaver too. I mean, just communication, right? You got communication, so whatever way to get the word out. Absolutely. I mean, we had been for years relying on ham radio, CBs way back, which didn't reach very far, and then
right.
FRS, and then ham radios, which is still a staple because of the repeater that's out there. You can, if you're on the Echo Link, system. you can pretty much communicate from all over the world into the Rubicon, which is badass. But that's just ham radio, and obviously we encourage everybody to be a licensed ham radio operator to use that avenue of communication. But the big game changer, as we just mentioned, is Starlink, because now you can have a hotspot and Wi-Fi and internet and Wi-Fi right there with your rig and in camp.
Yeah, so the new Starlink Mini is what Kevin Jones is using right now to source parts and get parts to him for his tow rig on the trail. And I guess 3 sets of axles or something are on their way up there from what I understand. So we'll have to follow up on that story, but that's pretty cool.
Yep, 518 Chase is out on the trail.
Yeah. So anyways, a lot of people out there on the trail. The Mad Hatters are out there having their summer picnic. From the Total Off-Road podcast, Derek's out there.
Derek with the blue.
Full size is out there.
Size,
Jason. Yep. So there's a lot of big rigs out on the trail right now. I was supposed to be there today. I'm kind of glad I'm not. I'm sitting in an air-conditioned house looking at a beautiful view of some nice bourbons that we're coming up to taste here.
Absolutely.
So this podcast is sure to go south.
Yeah, Jason called me and said, "Hey, I got tasters here," and I said, "I'll be there."
You just up and left.
I mean, a little backstory on that. This was sent to us by, and we'll get into it a little bit later, but sent to us by a listener and a close friend of the podcast. But I have to come up this way anyway on occasion to see my mom up in Reno, and this just happened to be the weekend I needed to do that. As the listeners all know, I was out on the Adopt a Trail with JL Latte Rodney last weekend, so I'm trying to make the best of my summer with all the stuff going on in my real life. But Jason had mentioned these that were here, and I'm like, I'm gonna come up. I'll deal with my mom and help her out a little bit, and then I'll pop over to Minden and we'll do this tasting.
Here we are.
And making a day of it, which is going to be great. We'll see how this. Whenever we have a blind tasting, it seems like things get a little wild.
Well, yeah. So,
but we have some business to conduct first, right?
Yeah, let's talk about food because we probably should have eaten first. But I threw it out there on the last podcast, what's your favorite trail food?
That's
just
right.
to hear what people have. So we got a lot of responses. So I wanted to scroll through those real quick. Coors Light, number 1.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you got to stay hydrated on the trail, that's important.
People said beer, Coors Light. I wouldn't consider those two the same. There's a joke there about a canoe and Coors Light. You know about that one? PB&J.
I know. I'll take a guess as who that's
No,
from.
it wasn't Jimmy.
Oh, no, huh?
It was KY Tacoma.
Oh, no shit. Well, it's a
Toyota
guy.
thing, though.
Yeah.
Definitely a Toyota thing. Our buddy JD Wheeler, Jet Boil and Mountain House Meals.
Those are a good
Have
call.
you had one of those?
I've had, dude, I've got a ton of them in my camper.
So I
tasted.
tasted. I did get to taste. I've never had a full one, but I'm like, hey, let me try that. Someone had it at camp. They're actually pretty good.
They're heavy on the salt.
Yeah, they are. Salty.
Sodium is off the chart, man.
Yeah, I don't know why
but you know, if you got to survive and space is a premium, they are definitely the way to go.
And then he also said pre-grill some sausages and heat them up on your manifold. Throw them in a hot dog bun.
That's
so
a
yes,
good call.
I do a lot of manifold cooking on the
Kielbasa,
trail.
Kielbasa or
Kielbasa.
Kielbasa.
Nice greasy Italian sausage. Chorizo.
Ooh.
Oh boy,
Woohoo!
smell good.
You know, we had chorizo at Prairie City a couple weeks ago, and that was a very delicious, mild chorizo.
And where was that from?
I'm not sure.
Villa Basque in Carson City.
Oh,
I've eaten breakfast there twice now. Their breakfast is off the charts. They just do breakfast and lunch, and off the charts good chorizo.
I
So
mean,
if you're
'cause-
ever in Carson City, look it up. Villa Basque.
there you go. But you know, chorizo can be from mild to wild, and you know, if you're on the trail, you probably don't want the wild.
No. He also responded with pre-made breakfast burritos, lunch burritos, and dinner burritos, which we have done.
Take them out of the plastic wrap, put them in aluminum foil, and throw them on a manifold.
Or you make your own.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So sausage, boy, that's another one for sausage. That was Morflate Sean. A little suspect on that one. Jess Campbell, you've heard of her.
Oh yeah.
Some type of burrito. See, burritos are the common theme. We can cook in the cooker or meat and cheese rolled up with a pickle.
What?
Meat and cheese rolled up with a pickle.
I've never.
So you could do like salami, cheddar, and then a pickle.
Like a charcuterie?
Like a charcuterie, yeah. Manifold buffalo chicken nuggets. Now that's good.
That sounds awesome.
That was Snipes
Snipe?
243. So, you know, I have that muff pot, they call it.
Correct.
And, you know, it runs right. I just, you hose clamp it right to the exhaust. And, man, that thing works good. So it's got the little removable pot that you can put stuff in. So I've done chicken wings in there, of course, burritos. I haven't done sausage yet. Maybe that's since this is the common theme, maybe that's what I need to do.
Well, things that can be turned into a sandwich or put on a bun seems to be,
Right.
or wrapped in a
Simple.
tortilla. You know, hand food.
CJ with a CJ says manifold breadsticks. Haha, he does. He likes his breadsticks.
Yep.
So he always pulls that out when we stop. I see the hood open and here comes this foil packet of breadsticks. Let's see. CJ Fab Guy John says anything Jason cooks. Well, there you go. That's a nice compliment. Depends on what I got going. Yeah, on the trail there. Here's another one. California Cam, burritos or PB&J. California Cam also said whiskey. I like your style.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Your style.
But it can't be in it needs to be in some sort of bottle, not glass.
Yeah.
So a flask of something that's not going to...
Glass doesn't travel well on the trail.
No, not at all.
Maximum Max
Oh.
from the defunct podcast, Mike and Max.
Max and Max's podcast.
Let's see. He says we got like this $35 small gas grill and pick up these thin carne asadas, so then tacos and fixings for taco night. Well, that's super bougie.
That's very bougie.
But he's got a big rig, so he's got room to haul all that stuff.
He does have a big rig. He's
Tom
got a whole
Rosa.
bed. Oh, Tom Rosa.
Rubicon soup. Pre-made stew and sourdough bread bowls for the first night's dinner. Easy peasy. Well, that's super.
I figured you'd have like an omelet bar.
His
going or
omelet
something.
bar. And then Ozzy says beer.
Well, we know there's this common theme to some of our listeners.
And here in the Mexican food, here it is. And our buddy Jonathan Harry says pink tacos.
I don't know where to go with that.
I do. I'm not going to say anything, though. Can't say anything. That's a great response. So there we go. And then we got people calling in as well. So we'll go into some voicemails. But yeah, I think the common theme is burritos, sandwiches, rolling up some meat and a pickle, whatever. Just simple, quick, easy, and easy to get to, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like just throw it on the top of your cooler. Or I know what I do is when I leave camp in the morning, if I'm out camping on the trail, is I'll pull out the breakfast burritos from the cooler, throw them into the muff pot, and send it. And then you start smelling things warming up. So...
Yep. Well, I think about that trip to Barrett Lake so many years ago. That was the trip that conceived this podcast. When we were driving out on Sunday, you had thrown the breakfast burritos and we had the CJ5.
Oh, right. Yeah, right on the manifold.
Right on the manifold. When we got to the bridge on the trail heading out that morning, we stopped and ate our breakfast burritos.
Right.
And that was awesome.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So that's 6 years ago, I think, at this point.
Yeah, we're coming up on 6 years. So that's cool. Yeah, you just got to make sure if you're putting it on the manifold, one, you might want a somewhat cleaner manifold, not a bunch of oil and gas dripping down on it.
Right.
Two, make sure it doesn't interfere with your linkages, throttle linkage, like... heaven forbid you mash the throttle to get up a hill,
sticks.
And then it sticks because your freaking breakfast burrito's right there stuck in the
what happened?
throttle
Breakfast.
But newer rigs are fly-by-wire and stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. But the other disadvantage with newer rigs, just like the problem on my buggy, is it's a plastic intake, so it doesn't get hot. So that doesn't work very well. So you got to see what your situation is. But if you are looking for one of these, burrito cooker muff pot deals, it's a snowmobile thing. So just look up muff pots on good old Amazon. But if you go to like a snowmobile site, that's where they live typically. So, anyways, well, there you go. You got any other good ideas other than burritos and PB&J? I'd love to hear it. Beer, whiskey, and all good stuff. All right, we got some voicemails. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's see. We got 5 of them here.
Holy moly!
People are calling in. And go.
Hey, Jason, Chris, Kevin, Poole. Hey,
Kevin.
Talk about your meals. Simple ones. Probably my favorite is pre-making burritos. You can wrap them in tinfoil, throw them in a Ziploc, and then you just throw them on your manifold to warm them up.
Exactly.
And if you're in a hurry, you can stop by, whatever, Walmart, something, get some frozen ones, throw them in your ice chest, the same thing. Wrap them in tinfoil, throw them on your headers, and let them warm up while you're wheeling. Simple, quick. All you got is a tinfoil that you roll up, toss in your trash, your trasheroo or whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, same thing. Sausages, you can wrap up in tinfoil. I mean, that's the easy go-to for me because you have an ice chest and a roll of tinfoil. You warm your food up and go. Otherwise, jet boil and just get some instant meals from, what is that, Mountain something? Mountain House or whatever.
Mountain House, yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more, but quick and easy ones. All right, guys, have a good one.
Right on. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, Kevin's got our number on speed dial now. This is good. He's, similar thinking to me. Same thing. Just wrap it up and go. I try to steer away from the frozen burritos pre-made. They're just a lot of preservatives and stuff, and they don't work well with me.
Well, those that recipe that Eddie, our good friend Eddie, the dirty burrito recipe.
Dirty burrito, dirty rice burritos.
It's not a breakfast burrito by any stretch, but those are super good.
Well, I add eggs and make it a breakfast burrito and bacon, or just do it the regular way. And I've done it with turkey, done it with beef, obviously. A lot of you can flavor that stuff up, and it's just
sausage,
that Cajun,
bacon,
that Cajun rice mix.
Yeah, the Zatarans.
That's it. Zatarans, dirty rice mix. It's called dirty rice mix.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really good.
It's super good.
It's great on the trail. So there you go. All right, let's see. Who do we have next? Don't recognize this number.
Hello, WWW. Kevin Garrett, first-time caller. Let's see, last 2 weeks ago, we went to Hatfield McCoy Trails, being about 10 buddies with our douche coops. It was a pretty good time overall, drinking. The trails there, they're way too easy. So that was kind of a letdown. We drove there from Fort Worth, Texas, about 1,100 miles.
Wow.
In our opinion, it's not worth it. But it was fun. Trails were, like I said, way too easy. They're basically all dirt roads with a lot of elevation change. Drink lots of fucking whiskey. Y'all have a good one. I called because I was sitting in traffic, and you said to call, so here it is. KMG8425 on Instagram. Y'all have a good one. Drink some more.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
KMG8425.
Here, I can scroll it back a little bit.
Drink some more.
A little too far.
Because I was sitting in traffic, and you said to call, so here it is. KMG8425 on Instagram.
8425.
Y'all have a good one. Drink some more.
There you go. I love it. Awesome. Thanks for calling in, Kevin. That is great. That's exactly what I'm looking for, is just hanging out before, during, after a run, and calling into the podcast. Douche Coop run. But hey, at least you're with your buddies. Like I've always said, we could have fun in a Walmart parking lot, you know? So it's nice to have a fun trail and
desperate
stuff.
times, though.
Yeah. It's fun, you know, being out there with your buddies, and if the trail's not great, you're still having a good time. But,
That's right.
Got some wheeling in 1,100 miles. That's what I just drove this past week. That's a long haul, and that's a lot of seat time. So hopefully you're caught up on podcasts too. Well, thanks for calling in, Kevin. That's freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, we got another one here. Let's see. We got 3 more. Oh boy, this could be interesting.
Oh boy.
This could be interesting.
Hey, Meatball. Long-time listener, first-time caller. This is, you can just call me Coach. So anyway, fellas, I just want to say, really proud of what you guys are doing out there. Clean up the trails. Good thing to do. You know, give back to the community. You got to give it your all. Put it hard. You know, leave everything out on the field. So, well done. You know, you got to go. Got to go and find out. Go and see. But just want to say I'm proud of you. Proud of the effort. And, yeah, keep it up.
All right, Coach.
Woo! That's a pep talk right there.
I know. And just when we were just kind of talking before the podcast, you know, is we did a little reality check. Everything good? Everything's good. Well, now we get the pep talk from Coach. So that's awesome. All right, next.
Hey, fellas. Just wanted to call and give you a little update.
President Trump.
Your favorite president, everyone's favorite president, Donald Trump. I'm here with my dog, and we're just hanging out, you know, recouping. I just wanted to say I'm really proud of Chris. Chris gone out of his way. He's been out on the trails. He's been chainsawing and looking at trees. He's been cutting trees and moving trees and driving over rocks. Many rocks, great rocks. I talked to those rocks backstage. They're awesome. They're wonderful American rocks. They know what they're doing. They're out there. They're in the way. They're not in the way. They're being scenic. And I got to tell you, it's quite amazing. So, fellas, I want you to know all these trails, they're mine, they're yours, they're ours. And probably, maybe, but definitely probably, you might see me somewhere, out on a trail, or doing something somewhere with someone sometime. So, keep up the good work. Keep those American trails good. And yes, as always, take care.
Right on.
I love when President Trump calls in.
American rocks.
He gets shot at, and doesn't even faze him. Just keeps doing his thing.
That's right.
Making America great again. Making trails great again.
American rocks.
I love it. Rocks. Being very scenic.
Well, thanks for the
Lots of
call.
rocks.
That's great.
Okay, that's awesome. Always enjoy when President Trump calls in. Oh, so good. All right, last but not least, here we go.
Hey, fellas.
Oh, great.
You know, I'm curious about this whole Adopt a Trail thing. You know, with the forms, is the paperwork, how do you do it? I've been looking to adopt, you know, certain people into my life. Maybe you guys, if you're lucky, but I imagine those forms are a little, you know, deeper.
and longer because of the delinquents that you are. Crazy fellas. Anyway, just curious about the process. What's it like? How many interviews? Did they talk to your neighbors? These crazy neighbors about your 4th of July parties and your silly night runs, your drunken night runs, your wheeling and your wine and your whiskey. So, yeah, more information is needed, really. Crazy times we're living in, with the trails are just inundated. These trees, these rocks, these nutso-nature features. I say nature because it's not nature, it's nature, it's neat. Anyway, fellas, just wanted to wish you a happy summer. I hope it's not too hot up there in your drawers. All right, take care.
There you go. Christopher Walken calling in. Woo! I mean, what a lineup. That sister podcast of ours dedicates a whole half an hour to getting caught up with voicemails.
That's right.
And but they got some cool people calling in. A lot of Toyota talk. Still a lot of Toyota talk. But
and Rover talk.
But Rover Don calls in, which I love when Rover Don calls in because he always finishes a call with what, Chris?
Toyota suck.
Exactly. So, see, now that's fun. But they don't have any big, huge celebrities calling in like Christopher Walken or former presidents.
Donald J. Trump.
I mean, really? Coach? Got a coach now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and I love how Kevin Poole's calling in more because, he is a Toyota guy, but he's obviously cool because he listens to our podcast. So appreciate that, Kevin. So, yeah, there you go. Well, there's the wrap on phone calls there, voice messages. So what is that phone number, Chris, so people can call and leave us a message?
800-500-500,000. No.
Wait, really? Did we change numbers, Lorenzo? Why has he got the hooves over his eyes right now? He's shaking his head.
That number is 408-800-5169. Again, that's 408-800-5169.
You should just have it in your phone. So if you're sitting there right now and you're not driving, just punch it into your phone, Android, iPhone, flip phone, whatever you have. Put us in your contacts. Just put W3 if you don't want to spell out wheeling wine and whiskey. I know that's a lot of work.
Right.
If your phone doesn't dictate.
You just do www, but that's
Remember the alfalfa joke, dictate?
No,
okay,
no,
I won't tell right
there.
now. Anyways, so yeah, just go ahead and put us in your directory there. So then when you are driving, you can just go and hit your button if you got one of those fancy cars on the steering wheel or you got Alexa in your car or something. You can say, call Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Podcast. And then there we are.
Jing-a-ling-ling, and you can leave a message.
We won't answer. It's a recording. But leave a message, and we will play it on the air.
That's right.
So that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Well, good. Appreciate the phone calls. Keep them coming. All right. Well, we're looking at whiskey, Chris. What are we going to do here?
We're going to drink it.
What are
we're going to drink it all.
Never know what I'm doing.
Yeah. We're going to... Lorenzo clopped right over.
Lorenzo, we said whiskey, and he came right over, and he's got his nose right in the middle of things now. So we'll see how this goes.
I think that ass might have a drinking problem.
I think he does. We're gonna have to snap a photo here. I'll put this up on the old Grammaroo, but we got a little glare there. But there it is. So we have in front of us 8 vials, I will say. So it's probably a little over an ounce, maybe 2 ounces,
maybe
of whiskey in these vials, and they're just labeled A1, B1, C1, D1. And then we've got another blind of B1, B2. Oh, no, yeah, B2, C2, D2. So yeah, we're going to start out with this first blind. We have no idea what they are.
Nope.
A friend of the podcast here, Taylor, we were talking. He took the deep dive into whiskey. He was educating me a few weeks ago on some whiskeys that I've heard of but didn't know a whole lot about. Uh-huh. And he apparently listens to podcasts and reads a ton of stuff on Reddit and the interwebs there about different whiskeys, and he's very passionate about it. And fortunately or unfortunately, we have steered him down the road of whiskey, down Whiskey River. Whiskey River, take my mind. So that's very cool. So he's excited for us. He developed this blind tasting for us. Now, listeners have done this in the past for us, which we really appreciate. This is super cool. So we're about to taste uninhibited. We got clean glasses. And
fresh
no
palettes,
ice.
Fresh palettes.
Yeah, and Chris has the bucket of blood glass there from Virginia City. And what do I have? I got a Sand Hollow glass here.
Oh,
there we go. Gosh, that's coming up too in October. So let's see here. We're going to start out with A1. So I think how we do this, Chris, is we're going to taste, and then we're going to, before we say, either one of us say anything, I think this is how we should do this. This is good. Is we should write down our tasting notes.
Okay.
What we're getting, whatever you're tasting, and we'll just make some notes. And then we're going to taste all of them. And if you get up, whatever during this tasting, because obviously it's radio here, we got to keep things moving. And then I think we should go back and then evaluate. Or should we do it right after we taste? Maybe we should give our notes right after we taste.
Well,
Let's do that.
So this is the beauty of recording stuff.
Yeah.
We can take a pause and I can shorten the pauses.
Well, let's do. We need some elevator music. Okay. Are we pretty equal here? I think so.
Just finish them off.
We're just going to kill it because it's not much.
All right.
Lorenzo's going to lick the lid. There you go. There you go, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, really, dude?
Wow, look at his tail go.
Can't take him anywhere.
All right. Cheers. All right. Here we go. A1. And it's not the steak sauce, which drives me nuts when people put that on their steak, by the way. All right, here we go. If your steak's that bad that you got to put A1 on it, you shouldn't be eating steak. Rant over.
That does not suck. Boy, that's an interesting tail end on there, huh?
Wow. All right, let me make my notes here. A1. Effing delicious. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Okay, this is... oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good description right there. And when you're tasting, by the way, you want to smell it first because, most of your sense of taste is through your nose. And then when you take some into your mouth, you want to aerate it a little bit and get it all over your tongue. I mean, you want to kind of almost mouthwash it around your mouth because you got all kinds of, your tongue has different sensors on different parts of the tongue, right? Front, back, the bitterness and everything is in the back. So you really want to enjoy it there. You just don't want to shoot it down like a tequila shot at a cheap bar.
No, only if it's Goldschlager.
Cheap
or
roadside bar
like
that Lorenzo goes to.
Or schnapps or some shit like that. Or what's that? Fireball. Fireball.
Don't say Fireball. All right. Well, here we go. So do we want to discuss? I think we should discuss after each one.
I'm ready to discuss.
While it's fresh. Okay. Go ahead. You start. A1.
You're going to love this.
Oh, great.
So I on the nose, I detect a very hint of smoke, a small hint of smoke.
Oh, interesting. I did not. Okay.
But it didn't follow through on the palate. A little bit, but I smell it was more on the nose. Caramel, a lot of caramel.
Oh, that I've got that written down here. First one, caramel.
Super good. The heat, my first little taste, the heat was on the bottom, on the esophagus or going down the pipe.
Burning.
Not bad, but pleasant. Just letting you know it was there.
It's a pleasant burn.
And here's the kicker.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Leather.
Oh, you got leather.
I got leather. This is the first time I've really hit leather.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the leather. I did not write the leather down, but it's light leather. I'd give you that. So that's for what it's worth. So I wrote caramel for my first descriptor. Second is butter. I mean, it was just buttery smooth as silk is what I wrote down. slight heat. I did not get much heat at all. It did not burn.
I'm not getting the butter, but I'll take your word for it.
I got it on the back. Well, that's it. That's the fun of tasting. But I will tell you this. I'd buy that for $1.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm sure it's more than $1, but we're going to find out what these are. But holy smokes, that was really good. All right, let's move on to B1. B1. All right, here we go. It is distinctive, isn't it?
I can't place it. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay.
Okay, you getting something?
It's triggering something in me. There's something in the nose that's familiar, yet I can't put words to it.
True. Let's see.
I don't know. Interesting. This is going to be this is going to bother me because I can't put words to it. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I will say it's.
I think once I say it, you're gonna get it. All right, so B1. This one's challenging in that it's very complex.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on. So you're over there, like you can't pinpoint it, right? Well,
No.
First of all, did you like it?
I did.
Would you drink that all night long?
Nah, probably
Not all night long?
but I definitely wouldn't turn it down. It was good.
It was good.
It was smooth. It was very smooth.
Oh, you thought it was very smoother than A1?
Yeah.
Really? See, I thought it was firm and like in your face more. I mean, it was very drinkable, but smooth would not be one of my descriptors for that.
I think
very drinkable, not like in a bad way. It's not smooth. It's just not. It's very complex.
I think my description is probably being sullied a little bit by the fact that I can't pinpoint what I'm tasting.
So how about this? Here, you ready for this one?
Okay, let it rip.
Clove. There you go.
That's
it.
Damn near it.
It's a deep, nutty clove taste that I'm getting on the first right out of the gate. Super complex. It's not like caramel, vanilla, all the stuff we like in normal bourbons are easy to pick up, I should say. And there's even some pepper going on there. I mean, it's just like there's a lot of complex.
There's a lot happening.
There's a lot of complex, but clove, I think, is the one that helps you.
So
Did that help you?
Yeah, because I wrote spice, and I'm like, what spice is it?
So then,
and then I wrote pepper with a question mark next to it.
Then it begs the question: is this a rye? And I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's a rye, but it could be. But yeah, no,
it was good.
It was good.
It's definitely a different experience.
That is a different animal, and
yeah.
I can't wait to find out what that is, and hopefully I can afford it because I'd love to have that on the shelf because that is. I've had some whiskeys like that before, but I don't have very many like that on my shelf. So,
well, it was good.
All right, so that's B1. B1 cloves.
Are we moving on to C1?
We're moving on to C1.
All right, hang on.
C1. Here we go.
All right, we're back.
All right, we're on to
C1.
C1. You sank my battleship. So here we go. Let's see what we got here on the nose. Now that's approachable yet unassuming. It smells and looks light, but I know it's going to have some pow to it.
Well, that's got some interesting tail on there. That's got a little heat on the bottom. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a little warm. But dissipates quick. It's not... Well, nope. It's lingering.
She's a lingerer.
Oh, yeah. And it's getting hotter. Wow.
There is some hotness to this. It's definitely not as complex as B1.
Whoa, that thing's still going. That's a little sneaky bitch right there. That just, whoo.
Okay, all right.
Lorenzo's even nodding his head. He's like, that's a spicy meatball. Oh, whoo. Woo-hoo!
Huh.
Needs water.
Yeah, it's a cooker, huh?
That one's going. That one's not like crazy, but it's just there's definitely some burn there. Definitely some burn. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in love with it.
You're not in love with it? C1. So I get toffee. I'm getting a toffee.
Toffee?
Toffee. So it's not as caramely. I mean, there's definitely some vanilla and stuff going on, but I'm getting more toffee notes. And definitely not as complex as B1.
No, nowhere near. I'm getting butter.
It's simple. There is. I'll give you that. It's like butter toffee. Yeah.
But the heat is.
But then it was like, yeah. So describe that heat. It was like, it was there at the initial, but like a little bit. Like you knew there was something there, and then as it just sat there for a while, it just got more and more.
It's distracting. I'm sorry, but
I want you to write down a number. Don't tell me, but I want you to write down what you think the proof is, and I'm going to write it down, and then once we reveal it, we're going to find out what the proof is. I hope he put proofs on there. If not, we can look it up. I got an idea of what this proof is. Okay. I got my number. I'm gonna lock it in.
Locking it in.
I
wrote my number down, but that heat's distracting. I'm sorry, and I'm not in love with it.
Okay. All right. That's not a bad thing.
The nose is not bad.
No, the nose is good.
But yeah, I'm not in love with it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I'm it's good. It's very good.
The heat's still cooking on me right now.
It's still there, huh?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's left the building for me. I'm like okay with it. All right, let's drink some water and then we'll go back to D1.
Cue the elevator music. All right, and we're back. A little bit of hydration going on here, a little intermission.
A little water in
will.
between to cleanse the palate, and so let's go on to D1.
D1.
This will round out our
bingo
first blind tasting. D1 bingo.
Oh wait, we can't have a bingo. There's only been 4 letters called.
B.
I guess I should give you my glass. All right, I like the color on that one.
It's a very deep, dark color, huh?
There we go. D1. All right, that was actually pretty subtle.
Okay, so you got... I'm still working on this one.
What are you looking at? You cheating over there?
No, I'm not cheating. I was looking for this... I was looking up one whiskey. I had notes on one whiskey, and it reminded me a lot of it.
Well, this one to me was pretty understated. The nose was actually pretty light, to me anyway.
Very light. Yeah, I'd give it light. Yep.
I detected butter, not a bomb, but, definitely smoothed it out. I felt like it didn't have much heat, or the heat was spread out if it did have any. Little spice on there. I'm not quite sure what. A little peppery, maybe. And then vanilla. It was just a hint of vanilla that kind of wrapped around me, which I liked. So that it was a good one. I enjoyed that one. And I don't know. I feel like it was a lower proof, probably a standard like 80 or maybe no more than 90. But it was tasty.
I get nutmeg. Little bit of toast on the nose. I will say. I don't want to say smoke. A little bit of a toast on the nose. Definitely got some rounded like vanilla. Your buttery, you said. I would give it that, rounded finish. Definitely some alcohol there that's getting on the sides of the tongues that not as high proof as the last one,
no.
C1. But it's definitely in the 100 plus game, I would say, realm. I like that one. Out of those 4, what would be your number one? What would you say is your number one?
I really liked B1.
You liked B1, so you did like that complex flavor and everything.
I did. That was
now earlier. You said you wouldn't like drink that all the time, or that wasn't like your.
No, it's a treat.
It's a treat. It's different.
Yeah, it's a treat. It's
just kind of just like unexpected, like a little reach around or something that you didn't expect.
Okay, well, that's one way to look at it. But no, I mean, it's like, you're sitting around with some special friends and you just want to, open up a special bottle and treat yourself.
And this is what you pull off the shelf and go, okay, guys, get ready. This is going to be something totally different, unique.
Absolutely.
Right? I would agree with that. I'm gravitating towards the first one. A1 would be like the one that I would be like, I want a bottle of that for sure. B1, I want a bottle of that for sure. But like A1 would be like my, out of the 4, that's the one that I would go back and taste again.
Okay.
So
no, A1 was good. A1 was very good. And it's certainly a great way to start the tasting.
So should we do like Johnny Carson, where he holds the card up to his...
You say that. I got to my mom's house last night, and she was sitting there watching Johnny Carson.
Do they have Johnny Carson reruns on?
I'm not sure what network she was watching, but I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Well, let's see what we got. Let's look.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll. Here we go. And so the number one blind, A1. Wow. Oh. Makes sense. Okay, you ready? Oh, he did put the proofs on here. God bless you, Taylor. Good job. Okay, A1 is Russell's Reserve Private Barrels, 9-year.
Wow.
Guess the proof.
90.
110.
Really?
Yeah,
110. Huh?
That's a smooth operator right there.
55%.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Russell's Reserve Private Barrel, 9-year. 110 proof. All right. Oh, wow. This blows me away. B1. And I have made a comment. There's certain distilleries that are consistent that I like everything I taste from. Like, I've never had anything bad from any of these distillers, right? Like, I know if I buy a bottle of Michter's, I'm going to like it because all the Michter's to me are great.
There's
another
good
one
brand
that's like that, and that's Woodford's.
Yeah, Woodford.
Woodford's, I've never had a Woodford's I didn't like. And I'm not saying I didn't like this. This just surprises me. This is Woodford's Reserve.
Really?
Barrel proof, 121.2. 121.2, Woodford's Reserve, batch proof.
Batch proof.
So... that is a Woodford's.
No shit.
Super complex.
I wouldn't have guessed.
I would have never guessed. Woodford's is always like easy drinking,
right?
Really good flavors, high flavors. But that was a complex flavor there.
That was a delicious one. I'm going to go find that bottle.
Yes. So there you go. So it might cost you a little bit.
No, that's all right. I got
proof.
Hashtag Chris money.
But, well, there you go. Hashtag Chris money. You got this thing all day long. All right. So moving on to C1. So we've had a Russell's Reserve, a Woodford's Reserve. Now we're moving on to C1. Okay, this is good. This is good. And we wrote the proofs down, but we didn't share. Chris and I haven't shared what we thought they were. This is a Stag. So this does not surprise me at all. I have Stag on my shelf. This is 23A.
So do I. Uh-huh.
Okay. So we do. I think you and I have the same bottle of Stag. That's like there.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but this is the 23A, and that makes 100% sense to me. I am not surprised by that at all. You ready for the proof?
Yeah.
What did you write down for proof?
114.
Okay. That was a little light. I wrote down 132.
Jesus.
And it is 130.2. 130.2 proof.
Fuck.
So
Stag is always like just right, like in your face.
It is.
It's one of those that it doesn't apologize.
It's unapologetic for sure.
So, but I mean, it's delicious. But again, as things go for today's tasting, not my first choice, but that explains the heat.
Exactly, right? And unapologetic, I think, is very, very well said, because that's typical Stag. I love it. Don't hate it. Wouldn't pour it out, but holy smokes, there it is. So 130.2.
Bold.
All right, moving on to the final one here, D1. So we were getting, like I said, a little bit. I got like a little bit of toast on it, right?
Yeah.
And a nutmeg. This is Copper and Cask. Copper and Cask. Double oak.
Oh.
So, there's the Woodford's double oak that we really like.
I like
That's
that
like
one. That's
super
it's like dessert.
vanilla. Yeah, it is a 100% dessert deal. This is a 7-year.
Okay.
But they stepped this up a notch because this is 127.6 proof. So there it is. So that's what's giving it the extra whoop-house there.
Uh-huh.
But being double oak, so meaning it's oaked in 2 different barrels.
Smoothed out.
That gives it a lot of flavor, a lot of that vanilla, from the oak barrels, and that nutmeg that I described. That's that toast. So I'm pretty happy with my description of these. I think I'm this Copper and Cask I've never had before. I've never had any of these before tasting, so that's pretty cool. But I definitely want to seek some of these out and see if I can find them.
And these are from Taylor's collection?
Private collection, yes.
Wow, he likes the high proof stuff, doesn't
He does.
Doesn't mess around.
So it started out 110, 121, 130, and we went back down to 127.
Oh, holy shit, there's no Basil Hayden there.
No, there's no freaking Sauvignon Blanc on that one. So that was a good first round. Do you want to go into the second round?
Oh, I don't know.
After tasting that one to know maybe the next round's more. So he did give me a little note. He did tell me, let's see what he sent me here, because he just texted me, and I said we were going to be doing this, right?
Uh-huh.
And so he said that the FYI, blind 1 is more fruity and blind 2 is more nutty.
Well, fruits and nuts.
Fruits and nuts. Land of California.
Do we want to save that for a future day?
No, I think we need to do it now while you're here, because who knows when you're going to be back.
Right, meow?
Who knows when you're going to be back?
Hey, we have an audience today too.
We do. Now we got audience members here. I mean, this is like things are happening here in Nevada.
We share,
Let me
but
tell
there's
you.
not enough to share. Sorry, audience. All right, let's do a quick reset.
Okay, let's reset, and then we'll come back with our second blind tasting.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, so we are on to the second tasting. Took a little break, got some water, relaxed a minute, ran around the house, just kind of cleanse the palate.
That's right.
Breathed in some fresh mountain air. And so now we're on to the second blind, A2. A2 is our second blind start here. So, gentlemen, start your engines. Here
Cheers. We go. Wow. That was an interesting start.
Oh, I got this. I think I've had this before.
Oh, my God. I got to write this down. Hold on.
Get it. Whatever you're tasting. This is A2, the beginning of the second blind tasting. All right. Take another sip here.
That is an interesting one. These are going to be out of left field, my descriptions here. But I tell you what, it came off. The nose was really unassuming, but definitely there. But as soon as I took a sip, we don't have very big portions here, so you had to make every drop count. But I got dark chocolate right out of the start.
Dark chocolate, huh?
Which was interesting to me because it came across very flat, and I'm like trying to place that.
Okay,
like, what is that?
I'm not mad at that answer. There's definitely sweet. There's definitely nutty though. Are you going to go with like a dark chocolate with some almonds or something?
No.
I put down walnut.
I didn't put.
I got walnut, nutty walnut. Right out of the gate.
Nutty walnut. I got leather in there again.
You and your freaking leather-bound books.
Well, it's just hinting at it. I don't know.
I threw a little honey in there too because of the sweetness.
I'm done.
This is like Honey Nut Cheerios right here. I mean, this is honey walnut is what I'm getting.
So it should be healthy then. Honey Nut
It's totally
Cheerio.
healthy. I guarantee it's healthy. It's whiskey. It's good for you. I put a number down for proof. I'm putting down a mystery number for proof. Just to see if I can kind of it's up there, and I'm telling you, it's well over 110 proof.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna make that statement. I wrote down my number.
So did I.
You got a number. So let's see where we're at because definitely some heat there, some alcohol.
Still lingering on me. But, again, I'm going to reiterate, the dark chocolate just kind of slid across my tongue, and it was interesting. So.
I like it. I don't hate that description. Not mad at it at all. All right, going on to B2. You ready to go B2?
B2.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Twist my arm. Drink bourbon and whiskey. Spend a Saturday afternoon drinking bourbon and whiskey.
Life doesn't suck here in Nevada, Chris. You're going to learn that one of these days.
Well, I can do that in California, too. Just saying.
Yeah, but
I got to defend us Californians.
Whiskey just tastes better in Nevada for some reason. I haven't pinpointed it, but it does taste better in Nevada, right? Keith is agreeing with us. All right, here we go. This is B2, our second taste on the second blind.
You know what? I haven't tasted it yet, but the nose reminds me of the ocean.
Salty?
Just crisp, fresh air.
It does have a nice nose. It could be like a little seaside.
Oh, that's subtle. That's really good.
Definitely getting some honey on the nose.
I've got honey, a little vanilla. There's some nut in there. The heat's kind of lower proof than the previous one for sure.
Oh, you think it's lower?
I do.
Interesting.
But I really like the note. The note, like as I said before, the nose reminds me of the ocean. This is a tasty one, but it's not complex. It's kind of just it is what it is. A little bit of nut, a little honey, some vanilla.
I'm getting sherry.
Sherry. We bust out the Journey song right now.
Yeah. I'm getting a little sherry. I'm getting definitely getting some like bread, a little bit on the backside there. I like it. It's kind of a cereal bread taste, but so you said less on the alcohol, and I did. My initial proof is lower than the first one, so okay. I guess I gotta go with that.
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I mean, it's tasty. It's I don't love it.
I'm gonna give it a little like syrupy too.
I don't hate it, but
Aunt Jemima syrupy.
Really?
Just because I wanted to say Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima.
She got canceled. She gone.
She did.
That's so terrible. Oh, fuck. Don't get me started.
Yeah, we're not going political.
Okay, we're not going political today? All right.
No, we were talking whiskey, and that's non-political.
I don't know. We can get political. All right. Let's go to C2. C2, third one in this blind. That one's looking good. D2's looking a little light, which is probably good for us coming into this. We're doing okay. These are very light pours, by the way. I mean, Chris and I are literally getting an ounce or less each.
I won't be driving home or back to my mom's anytime soon.
Right. We got plenty of work to do for you around here. We'll sweat that stuff out here shortly.
Yeah,
so
no, that's not going to happen.
We gotta drag a spa out of a trailer.
You can't afford me.
No, I can't afford you. You're at the same rate I am. All right, here we go.
Lorenzo, back off. Jesus Christ. Really, Lorenzo?
Okay, C2, Lorenzo's been licking all of the caps here, the vial caps. It reminds him of his days of doing meth back in Mexico, I think. I don't know.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, that was quite the trip, huh? You thought we forgot about that.
No, it was a trip, all right.
Nope. Chris's credit score is still screwed up, thanks to you.
He was tripping the whole time he was gone.
All right, here we go. C2. Okay, that one has a unique flavor.
Earthy.
I'll give you that. There is definitely an earth undertone to it.
Peaty. Earthy.
Okay, yeah, so you're getting and mushroom's not a good, but that's like an earthy Like mushrooms are earthy, right?
Yeah.
So it's somewhere in that realm. You're already throwing out that stuff. I'm like molasses. I'm getting like just how molasses is like really
Kinda
thick and hits
hangs
you on
on
the
your
palate.
hangs on your tongue.
This stuff does. You're getting like there's definitely some oatmeal kind of
Oatmeal?
love there. I'm gonna go. Yeah. When was the last time you had oatmeal?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you
But
should.
It was flavored.
You should eat more of that. That's good for your heart.
I don't have a heart.
And instead of putting honey on top, you just sprinkle a little bourbon on top there. That's what Lorenzo does in the morning. He has
I
his
don't
oatmeal
have
bourbon.
I don't have a heart.
You don't have a heart. Well, now, see, that explains a lot of stuff. God, it's all coming together here on the podcast. See, truth is in whiskey, and there you go. It just came out. Chris doesn't have a heart.
I don't know. I'm not. Again,
Are you stumped, or what do you got the earthiness, and I'll give you that. I got a little sip here left. You finished yours.
I'm done. But I don't think I like it. I'm throwing that down. Boom.
It's a little astringent. I think that's what you're getting, the astringency of it. So astringency, the best way I can describe that, because wines can get astringent as well. And that's where it's hitting you on the side. You feel it hitting you on the sides of the tongue.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And that's the tannins. You get those astringent tannins.
Yeah.
And those are on the sides of your tongue, the left and right of your tongue. And I do get that hit there for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what this is because
You're not going to buy it.
I'm not going to buy it.
You're not going to buy it. Okay. Oh, put down your proof if you haven't put down your proof yet.
Oh, yeah, I got to put down the proof. Okay, hold on.
Okay, I got proof written down. Okay, I'm going to take a little water before we taste our 8th and final tasting here.
We're on D2. Holy smokes.
D2.
All right.
Okay. So, D2. Here it is. Last one.
Cheers.
That was kind of a weak cheers, but there it is.
was.
All right. D2. It's very little. This one succumbed to some spillage, I think.
Make it count.
Let me just say, when this box showed up on my porch here, it was over 100 degrees, and the box smelled like bourbon.
And Lorenzo was standing over it.
The delivery driver was freaking great. So I got a long driveway, and I tell them they can drive in my driveway. So now some of them know they drive my driveway, but a lot of them walk in. And this guy walked in and carried it, and he goes, "You got something nice in this box." He could smell the bourbon as well. So here we go. Oh, wow.
Definitely a nutty one. What do you got?
Hang on, I got one more taste. I'm really, this is very complex. This, I think, is even more complex than the Woodfords. Let's see. I got a little taste left.
I think my palate's probably blown out from the other tastings, but this one's the nuttiest I've tasted today, and I feel like it has a pretty strong walnut hint in it, or a flavor.
Okay.
It's again, this is another earthy one. Just I feel like I'm kind of running my hand through soil with it.
Wow.
Nice, healthy, fertile soil.
Wow. Look, this is like 50 Shades of Chris right here. Go ahead.
And then there's just a hint of vanilla in there.
Okay.
So,
running my hands through some nice fertile soil
well,
on the full moonlit evening in the farmer's field.
running through it with bare feet.
Shit. This is what happens in whiskey tasting. Okay, so you're right. Our palate. The one thing I will say is we're doing very small tastings. These aren't like fucking 3-finger pours.
Right.
So guaranteed, our palate is not as fresh as it was for A1 when we started
No
this.
doubt.
But I feel like my palate's still there. I don't feel like it's fully blown out. It's definitely a little compromised. But this is very complex. I'm getting, it's long lasting. I'm getting biscuits. I'm getting almonds. I'm getting freaking tobacco. I'm getting the leather-bound books.
Holy smokes!
I mean, this is
you're throwing the encyclopedia, the dictionary.
This is a lot going on this one, and I'm getting some heat. So I haven't written down my proof yet, so I'm going to write this down. I'm going to go. Okay, I like that number that I just wrote down.
You got leather. You got leather in there.
I got leather. I definitely got leather on that bad boy. I smelled it and I tasted it.
Huh.
If you smelt it, you dealt it.
The earthy thing to me was pronounced.
It
And,
was,
I mean,
obviously, because you got pretty romantic with that.
right? So
Okay.
so the review,
shall we do the reveal?
let's bring it out, man. Show it up. Show us what you got.
Okay, second blind from Taylor. Thank you very much, Taylor. Woohoo! Open this up. I haven't seen this before. It's nice little 3x5 note cards. Did you ever use these note cards to practice for, rehearse flashcards, right? In college?
Those were standard for ornamental horticulture.
Right,
plant
exactly.
ID.
And this is bringing back bad memories.
Thousands of
just
plants.
going through, and you'd flip them over. You'd write the answer on one side, the question on the other, or whatever. and
Acer
you'd flip them over.
palmatum.
And then, so seriously, I mean, I remember some of that stuff, but like college is just memorization.
Liquid amber striaciflua.
Ooh, that's a good one. How about Erica canaliculata? That was my favorite plant in college.
Can you lick a lotta? I always liked the monkey puzzle tree too.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, that's a real tree.
Lagerstromia indica, if you're a beer drinker.
Crepe myrtle.
Crepe
yeah.
myrtle. Okay, there we go. Fucking nerds. All right, A2. Here we go.
Nerds.
Oh, this is good. Okay,
Say it.
so here we go. A2 is larceny.
Oh.
Barrel proof. So C923. So now, do you know what all that means?
I don't know. I have larceny in my collection.
You do, and I do too. And larceny is one of those bottles I forget about. It's always good. But okay, so C923. So I might get corrected on this, but C is so Elijah Craig does this too.
Oh, do they?
So it's we've talked about it on the podcast. So A, B, C, D. So those are quarters. Okay, of the year. Mm-hmm. So first quarter A, second quarter B, third quarter C, and that's what this is. 923. So that could be September of 23.
Okay.
Or the ninth barrel, ninth racking. There's different connotations, but so I need to verify that with Taylor. But so it's a C923 larceny barrel proof. So, barrel proofs. There you go.
Nice.
Hello. How you doing? What'd you write down for proof?
$1.20.
$1.20. You're super close. I wrote $1.20 as well. 126.4.
That's that.
Yeah, that packs
tracks.
a little punch. So there you go. So that was that first one, and we were definitely walnut honey. That was really good. I really like that one.
That's the dark chocolate one.
Yeah, and the
me.
dark chocolate for you, yes. So it was the nutty dark chocolate for Chris. All right, moving on to B2. B2, Elijah Craig. So there it is, Elijah Craig, barrel proof.
Yes, sir.
C922. C922. So again, I know that is one of the sought after bottles. And
Okay.
I may or may not have that bottle in my collection. I need to double check. I got a lot of barrel proof Elijah Craigs
I know
up there.
I have no Elijah
Because
Craig.
I really fell in love with those and have not been disappointed. Same thing with Michter's, same thing with Woodford, same thing with Elijah Craig. I've never met any of those bottles I didn't like.
Correct.
Okay? So here we go. And I kind of put down the sherry, the cereal syrup. Proof. You ready?
Yes.
124.3.
That tracks.
And you said it was less.
Well, I was
than-
it was
than that one.
2
And
points less.
You were 2 points less. So you were correct. I put 114. What'd you put?
I didn't write it down.
You put 110. You talked about 110.
Did I write 110?
You talked about it. I don't know.
Okay.
Are you drunk right now?
No.
Lorenzo, go check on your buddy Chris. See how he's doing over
I'm
there.
not drunk.
He's
I'll let you know when I'm drunk.
nuzzling up to you right now.
Get out of there,
He's going to sit in your lap.
I think he's gay.
Jesus. All right, moving on. C2. All right, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
It is Booker's.
Really?
The Storyteller batch. So this is like a pretty damn good, hard to get bottle. Thank you, Taylor, for sharing it with us. Booker's The Storyteller batch, 2023, 7-year. So have you had Booker's before?
I've had it. I have none in my collection, but I have had it.
Yeah,
I probably with you or somewhere.
Right. I don't have Booker's in my collection either. And there's Minden Meats right down the street here that has it. Battleborn Wine has it. And I've been tempted to buy some Booker's because every Booker's I've tasted, I've been like, okay, but complex, right? I mean, it's a different animal. And you know, we were saying it was astringent and molasses and, you know, all that. But I didn't hate it. Didn't hate it at all. 7-year. What'd you put down for proof? You didn't like that one.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like that one.
No.
Okay. What'd you put down for proof?
108.
108. Well, that's really light. I put down 126 and we have 127.8.
Heck, Taylor, what's with all the high proof freaking liquors, dude?
He likes the high proof. Him and Ian Johnson would get along good together.
Right?
I like the high proofs too.
Yeah, it's just moderation. But
what's interesting in my bourbon journey, because I did the wine journey, right? Like with the wine collection stuff. In the bourbon journey, I never, at the beginning of drinking bourbon or whiskey, I should say, and you go, Jason, you're going to love rye whiskey in the future.
Rye whiskey.
I go, you're full of shit. There's no way. I hate rye bread, and I just connotated rye whiskey with rye bread, that flavor profile. But when it's in its liquid form, it's pretty fucking good.
No, it's awesome, especially when you put it in.
I love rye whiskey, and I love higher proofs because I like to drink it with a rock.
Sure.
And obviously the rock waters it down and brings the proof down. But we are drinking these straight right now.
Smooths it out.
And it definitely does. And it opens it up and it brings out other flavors that you're not going to taste unless there's a little bit of liquid water in there, H2O. So, but Booker's, so that's interesting. So you hated that one.
Yeah, well, I didn't hate it.
It's your least favorite.
It's my least favorite.
Okay, because you don't throw shade. You just dislike things.
I hate people. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, when we're drinking, as we said earlier, this is straight. These are not.
That's right. We didn't add any water. We didn't put a rock. Glass is clean. Drinking water in between to cleanse our palates. So here we go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the experience would be slightly different if we rocked it up or whatever. But
right.
Anyway.
All right. So let's go on to the final. D2. Yeah, drum roll. Just like what was that? The drum roll you just did. That was Christmas Vacation or something. Yeah, Christmas Vacation.
What's that?
They were doing that.
National Lampoon?
Yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas.
Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo.
So good. I need a drum roll as he's opening up his check to get his.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm not a big movie guy either. I just like a few comedies. All right, D2, you ready?
Yes.
You're. And what did you? So before I reveal D2, because you said you were going to buy that one?
Yeah,
you liked it.
I
it
did.
Was your favorite out of the 4 of this tasting?
I believe so.
Final answer? You want to call a friend?
No.
You want to talk to Lorenzo?
No, Lorenzo's nudging me. I don't like it.
Okay, I don't like it. All right, so that's the one. It is also Booker's.
Oh, okay.
Well, you were hating Booker's here a second ago.
Well, everything, they're all different, dude. I mean, we know that.
You ready? This one's called the Lumberyard, Danny.
The Lumberyard? Really?
It's called the Lumberyard Badge. I have not heard of this one. I am unfamiliar. I cannot speak to it.
They age it in a lumberyard?
love the name because there is a reference in Caddyshack that... Where did my ball go? It's in the lumberyard.
I noticed.
I own 3 lumberyards, and I don't know where they are.
I noticed you're never there. Well, I don't know where they are.
I don't know where they are. Classic Rodney Dangerfield. So, this is Booker's The Lumberyard. What's he got here? 2022 02-02.
Oxygen plus oxygen?
I don't know. It's obviously 2022 year. 02 might be the quarter or something. I need to find out from Taylor about this one.
Well,
maybe we'll have Taylor call in on the next podcast and talk about this.
We'll make that happen. We have the technology.
So it's a 7-year.
Okay.
All right. And the proof. What'd you write down?
124.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I wrote down 131. Proof is 124.8. Nice job.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom shakalaka. Look at that. Chris coming in strong.
So the lowest proof of these four was 124.3.
Yeah, Taylor, we need to talk to you about your high proof shit.
He definitely likes the higher proof. So super freaking cool. That was a fun tasting.
Hell yeah.
There honestly, and so there was one that I thought I had tasted before, the first one, Larceny, and I did, but I don't know if it was the same, the C923. I got to go look in my collection.
Yeah,
but I did make that statement that I thought I had tasted that one before. It was familiar with me, and I'm pretty sure I have that one.
I know
but,
I have Larceny, but I don't know if it's that one.
And the Elijah Craig C922, pretty sure I have that one. But the Bookers, never tasted those before, especially the Lumberyard.
Yeah, whenever I'm at the store bourbon hunting, which isn't very frequently right now, but I always walk past the Booker. But I think, and there's probably a reason for it. But if I can find that fourth, the D2,
yeah,
the
Lumberyard, I've never heard of it.
Try to acquire it.
So I see Booker's Little Book, which is kind of one of those fabled, like, you must have in your collection if you're a true whiskey connoisseur. But it's crazy priced out, because these liquor stores know what they got.
Yeah,
I know what I got. 1984 Ford Ranger.
Earlier this week, I was went to a dinner party for a coworker that's leaving the property, leaving, and when I got there, I went into the bar and I ordered a Templeton Rye Old Fashioned, which didn't suck. The only thing that was a big flaw with that was that they didn't have Luxardo cherries. They had maraschino.
No, they didn't put a maraschino cherry in it, did they? Okay, so that's a sign of obviously a bar that doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
Oh.
And then later, but they had a pretty good bourbon collection. So later in the evening, I ordered a Knob Creek neat.
What Knob Creek? Just
whatever. I couldn't read it from where I was at, but it was really pretty good.
Did she put a maraschino cherry
No, it was
for
neat, straight up.
Okay, good.
And it was good. So
there you go.
I mean, there's always something that you can enjoy when you're out and about. And I mean, obviously, what we've tasted today opens up the door to more bourbon hunting at this point. So, or whiskey hunting. So yeah, I'm going to get copies of these what these were, and I'm going to try to find a couple of them. A couple of them I have no desire to find.
You might want to get your checkbook ready, because I have a feeling some of these are hard to get and a little pricey.
Well, I'm not going to buy them all at once.
All good. So to follow up, so I went down south to Dirtbag Johnny's humble abode.
Yeah.
In Escondido, right near Stone Brewery.
Oh, yeah.
And so it took me 10 hours driving time to get down to his house down there, towing an empty trailer, so it was no problem. Got a Ford, super comfortable.
10 hours to get
10 hours.
In a Dodge would have been 6.
10 hours, yeah. Yeah, well, it would have been 6 hours to the transmission shop and then another fucking 4 days at the transmission shop to get the transmission fixed and then continue on. But anyways, made it down there, got to hang out with Johnny. We went to a wonderful steakhouse. Unbelievable. I will shout them out because they know what's going on. It's called Born and Raised. It's in downtown San Diego, which you know what San Diego means in German, right?
Sure.
So anyways, so we walk into this place. I mean, talk about leather books, mahogany, great shit, steakhouse stuff. This is the place.
Like that place in Vegas?
wood floors, I want to say sculptures, but they're kind of like the columns are like rounded out, wood ceilings. I mean, just super rich, chill steakhouse vibe, right?
Uh-huh.
And I look to the left, and there's this just ridiculous bar. Okay, obviously very upscale. Go over, and we sit down, waiting for our table, and bartender there with a mustache and a beard. I sit down and I go, this guy knows a thing or two about whiskey. And sure as shit, I go, his name's Travis. I'm going to give him a shout out. Travis at Born and Raised in San Diego. And I go, Travis, you must know a thing or two about whiskey, bourbon, rye. Talk to me. He's like, oh, yeah. And I'm looking at their collection. Their collection is outstanding.
Good.
Outstanding. Some of the better bourbon whiskey selections that I have seen on the shelf. And I go, hey, here's the deal. I said, and I'd love to do this with the bartenders that know, right? You got to know if your bartender knows that this bartender is not going to put a maraschino cherry in your fucking old fashioned, okay? So I go, Travis, I'm looking for, I said, let's go to rye. I'm going to go rye whiskey because you got great selection of rye. I said, give me a rye whiskey that you don't think I've had between $20 and $30. I wasn't going to spend more than $30 on a, two finger pour of whiskey.
So it wasn't a mixed drink. It was
not a mixed drink. No, you go to a bar like that, you want to sample something that you haven't had.
Sure.
Just like what we just did, right? And so he goes, okay, I got you. And he pulls down this bottle, and he kind of showed me the label, but didn't, and poured it right away. Over a rock.
Okay.
Big rock, square rock. And I didn't know what bottle it was, and he was holding it kind of down low so I couldn't see. He waited till my first taste. I tasted it, and I go, very good. I like that. And he sets the bottle on the bar, and it was Pikesville, 110 proof straight rye. So... And I hadn't had it before. I'm like, very well done, sir.
Well played.
Well played, right? So I love going to places like that, and it's the splurge once in a while, right?
Sure.
I'm freaking unemployed right now. I didn't need to be spending $28 on a shot of whiskey, but you're in a place like that. When in Rome, it's life experiences. You can always make more money. You can't make more memories. So, super freaking cool. I was like, that is awesome. Great pour. And Johnny did one too. I think he had an Eagle Rare of some sort.
You can't go wrong with Eagle Rare.
You can't go wrong with. So I'm looking at. I go. Do you have a list? Because I'm curious of prices, right, on some of this shit.
So this wasn't like the same level as Locked Barrel or anything.
Definitely same level. It would put Locked Barrel on tilt.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. This place, let me just tell you about this place. I looked at their list that I was just referring to right now. Unbelievable whiskey list. And so then I'm going through and I'm like, oh my God, Elmer T. Lee. Elmer T. Lee is one of those ones that it's a rare bottle, hard to get. I actually have a bottle sitting right here I'm looking at right now at $45 for a pour. So it's up there. It's not like, oh my God, the best whiskey I've ever had, but it's just one of those cult, hard to find.
Yeah,
and if you find it, you got to get it.
Hogs and whatever.
Exactly. So then I'm looking and they go, oh, they got a double Eagle Rare, very rare, 1 ounce pour. How much would you pay for that, Chris?
Well, because you're asking me, I'm going to go high.
You should go high. And whatever you go high, you're probably not high enough. So
$125.
No, see, you're way low.
Really? We too low?
We too fucking low. Go more. You need to times that by a lot.
No shit, 300.
Oh, keep going.
500.
Keep going.
Dude, seriously?
Keep going.
$1,000.
Okay, you're close. $990.
Fuck.
$990 for a 1 ounce pour
of Eagle Rare.
It's Eagle Rare, very rare.
Dude, come on.
I know, but there's people that do this shit. I'm just telling you.
I mean, Eagle Rare, it's one of my go-tos if I see it in the store. But I think I'm currently. I don't have. Well, you know what? I do have a bottle of Eagle Rare, but not very rare, obviously, because very rare would put me in the freaking poorhouse.
Well, exactly, and so that's the caliber of place that we're playing with here. This isn't maraschino cherry bullshit.
Well, I mean, when we were at Locked Barrel in Sacramento a few years ago, we were definitely playing in the lower tier of what they had. I mean, they had everything there.
Yes. Yes.
Literally. I mean, if you look it up, Locked Barrel, Sacramento, it's not too far from the Capitol building there. But every wall was covered with bourbon, top to bottom, and it was the ceiling must have been 20 feet up.
Oh, same thing here. I mean, it was like super impressive. Okay, I'm going to share a couple more right here because I took pictures because I was just like, this is legit. So then they had a killer Scotch selection, right?
Uh-huh.
I started in Scotch. That's what got me into bourbon. That was my gateway drug. So Macallan, another house. We talked about this earlier of like, I've never had a Macallan I don't like.
Yep.
Never had a Woodford's, never had a Michter's.
Everybody should have a Macallan in their collection.
Right?
For sure.
Okay. So Macallan 12-year Scotch is just like the go-to for me.
Absolutely. I got a bottle.
If you're going to go to a restaurant, that's super good. Okay. So Macallan 25-year.
Yeah, no, that's rarefied.
Very rarefied. $765.
For a sniglet?
For a sniglet. I've had 20-year. I've had 21-year Macallan. I've never had 25. That's as high as I've gone.
I've had 12 and 18.
Yeah, 18. 18 was, let's see, $100. That's easy.
Yeah.
Drop a C note for a little shot. But they're most expensive on the menu, and I asked Travis about it. I looked up at the bar at the very top shelf, right? You always gravitate to the top shelf if you're connoisseur because that's where all the good shit is.
Well, yeah.
There was a bottle that looked like a wine bottle that was under a glass dome. Not like this crazy, feature thing,
system,
but just this glass dome. And I'm like, okay. I go, Travis, what the hell is that? And I couldn't really read the label, but I could tell it was something special. And he goes, huh, good eye. I go, what is it? He goes, that's Macallan. And I go, really? I go, I've never seen a bottle like that. He goes, oh, no, this is an old bottle. He goes, there's one of 6 in the world.
Wow.
He goes, I have had, Forbes magazine, all these people that are writing articles on this bottle call me and ask me what it tastes like because they can't get a bottle and they haven't tasted it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, so you've tasted it. He goes, oh, yeah, I've tasted it. And I go, okay, what is it? It's Macallan 1977 Queen Elizabeth II Silver Jubilee.
Silver Jubilee.
Silver Jubilee.
Boy, they went all out on the name for that.
This is 1977. Okay.
I was 9 years old in 1977.
You were 9. Okay.
You were 5.
I was 5. All right. So, do you want a half-ounce pour or a 1-ounce pour? Just tell me what you want. I will tell you the 1-ounce pour is the most expensive thing on the menu.
If I'm going on something that's extremely rare, like extraordinarily rare, I'm going 1 ounce.
Okay, 1-ounce pour. Give me a price. Knowing what I told you and all the history, the last 5 minutes of our conversation, give me a price on a 1-ounce pour of 1977 Macallan Queen Elizabeth.
I have a number.
Silver Jubilee. Okay, what do you got?
$2,500.
Okay, you're high. You're high by like double.
Well, fuck, $1,250.
So it's $12.90.
Fuck.
$12.90 for a 1-ounce pour. That's what we were just drinking here.
Wall Street,
1-ounce pour.
Wall Street bros are drinking that shit.
And I asked him, I go, okay, what's it like? And he goes, hey, it's great and everything. And I go, okay. Because when you get like above $100, in my opinion, you're pissing it out the next morning. Is it worth it? Now, if you got fuck you money, sure, whatever, it doesn't matter. But he goes, it's really good. I go, okay. I go, lots of flavor. He goes, dude, it's got all kinds of, it's this great flavor profile. But I go, if it was your money, would you? He goes, hell no. But, you know, it's just one of those unique things. He goes, you could be one of the few people on the face of the earth that could say they tried that.
Sure.
Whatever that's worth to you.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, like we've seen the Cristal people that the big display of Cristal in the nightclubs, you know, with the entourage bringing the bottle to you, and you know, whether it's champagne or you know, dining in Las Vegas when we were both going to the golf industry show and looking at the wine
Great
menu
stuff.
and seeing that $25,000 bottle of wine on the menu, which, you know, because it's at the Bellagio, it's $25,000.
Sure.
But if it was at a regular liquor store, it'd probably be $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever, you know.
Right.
But again, I mean, it's. I knew a dude years ago that he wouldn't drink. He wouldn't if the bottle of wine didn't cost $100. He wasn't interested.
Right.
And I'm like, really? I mean,
It's just wine snob.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you know, I've had $100, $150, $200, $300 bottles of wine that they were good, but they weren't just blowing my mind.
No.
But I've had
absolutely
$25, $30 bottles of wine that just blew me away.
Right.
So as we've said numerous times on this show, price doesn't mean shit.
No, find out what you like. And I love finding the $20 bottles of wine that knock my socks off. Same thing with bourbon. If I can find, you know, $45 bottle that blows my socks off, like a Old Elk, like Frey Ranch, I'll drink that all day long, and I do.
Yep, for sure.
So if you find yourself in San Diego, look up Born and Raised. Even if you just go in there for a drink, their freaking menu is awesome. Steakhouse is great. I will recommend, if you do sit down for dinner, you got to get the dirty hash browns.
Ooh,
it is unique. They deep fry these like cubes of hash browns, and it's just really good. Great restaurant. Awesome. So thank you, Johnny, for showing me that place. That was an awesome evening.
Old Town?
No, it's in downtown. So it's not in the Gaslight district or anything. It's not too far from the airport. We had to go pick up his wife from the airport after dinner. Unfortunately, her flight was delayed and didn't get to have dinner with us.
I'm going to be in San Diego next month. Maybe we'll go.
You should check it out. You should definitely check it out. Make a reservation now. And then next morning woke up, we loaded everything up, and I hightailed it back to wonderful Nevada, and it took me 13 hours driving time because of traffic getting out of the wonderful Los Angeles area, Southern California, and then road construction, and then the freeway was closed just past Phil Licardi, Shock Jesus' house, which suffered a fire like 3 years ago, I want to say. Well, what vegetation was left burned again.
Well, you got to keep it clean, man.
Crap. So luckily, there was only one structure that was hit by the fire, but everything else was good. They shut down the freeway because they were using the freeway as
staging.
Exactly. And there was fire crews, hotshot crews from all over Idaho and stuff. I was like, wow, pretty cool. And their trucks were badass. They had wraps on them, and thank you, hotshotters. I mean, that fire got put out right away. So
good.
Anyways, back here and making it happen. Super glad you got to come back up here to wonderful Nevada and visit Lorenzo and I. Lorenzo's happy.
Make my trips occasionally.
He's missed you.
It was $111 in Sacramento driving through the valley yesterday.
Oh,
driving up. Hot. I didn't expect it to be that hot, but and then even in Truckee, I passed through Truckee at like 5:45 last night, and it was 89 degrees in Truckee, which is toasty.
We're 98 degrees right now in Minden, Nevada. So
love the air conditioning in my truck.
The AC's working great here. This house is way better than my old house as far as
Well, you didn't have AC in your old house.
I didn't have AC, but when the AC was working, it didn't work very well. So this is way more efficient and better and awesome. So.
Well, right on. Cool.
Well, great. Thanks again, Taylor, for hooking us up with these 2 blind tastings. Very enjoyable, enlightening, and definitely gave me some aha moments of different ones that I'm going to be looking closer at.
Yep, for sure. And
Gonna head down
some
here
I'm
and
steer
see.
clear of.
Yeah, I want to. We got to go visit Kevin, and we got to do a podcast down at Minden Meats. Chris, he's got a killer whiskey selection going on down there and whiskey bar.
Next
That's
trip.
12 minutes from here. So next time you come over, that's where we're headed.
All right, sweet.
All right.
How do they get a hold of us?
Just give us a call at 408-800-5169. You can hit us up on the gram at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. Of course, email us at chris@wheelingwineandwhiskey.com or jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Lorenzo wants to get an email. He's not feeling the love. Lorenzo at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. And yeah, of course, we love the call-in, so call in. We'll play it on the air.
And of course, and absolutely don't forget about irate4x4.com, where you can see all sorts of cool stuff at Watch, Listen, and Discuss. You know, the Snail Boys are there, but we're there too. And you can scroll down and click on that. And you can see all of our past episodes. You can interact. Just every once in a while, I'll pop in there and pose a question or whatever. And, you know, it's kind of nice to get the banter going back and forth. And lastly, you can, if you feel like supporting the show, not required, but certainly appreciated, on the right side of the screen, you can see links to sign up to give us a little bit of money to help cover the costs.
Podcast going.
Help cover the costs.
Yeah, Lorenzo's feeling the pinch now. He's not getting as much hay as he used to get. So,
well, he's eating tumbleweeds now.
Yeah, he's acquired a taste for tumbleweeds. All right, and with that,
we're out.